Strap yourself in for Keeping It Real with Jac Ral.
Welcome back, keepers, to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jac and Ral. I am Gabrielle Dolan, and beside me is Digger and
Jack Phillips. That's me, Ral.
Sorry, Digger. I should have introduced Digger by his real name.
What is his real name?
Digger Mac.
I call him Digger Doo.
I know, Digger Mac is his.
What's with the Mac?
Steve used to read this book to the girls, and the main character was a dog, and the dog was called Digger Mac.
Love it.
So that's his official name. Digger Mac Dolan is his.
Digger Mac
when you
Dolan.
When you go to the vet, it's all official. It's Digger Mac Dolan.
Yes, Django Phillips.
It's a pretty cool name, isn't it?
It's
Digger
a
Mac Dolan.
very, very cool name. Digger Mac Dolan.
He gets Digger Mac when he's in trouble.
Digger Mac. Ooh. He didn't even flinch.
He didn't even flinch, so he
just ignored
really
you.
Doesn't care.
Like the rest of us. Hey, I've been coaching some bloody awesome rock stars. One is almost in my mind. She's actually a chief of staff in London.
Oh.
Aussie chick via Asia in London. How lucky am I to get to be in her orbit? Anyway, she chose me to be her executive coach, and we were chatting the other day in a great coaching session. And what I always take notes as I'm coaching, so I can then send notes to my clients around actions, and they find that really helpful, and it helps me sort of reflect. It also helps me with content because I'll often take a lot of the things that we've been talking about.
AI for that?
I sometimes use AI to enhance my content, but I don't use AI to start
to take
my
notes.
content. No, well, I was one of the very early adopters of Otter AI. Well, it buggered me up no end because it got confused as to who said what.
It's probably changed though.
I'm sure it's come a long way. But the problem with that is I actually spent longer afterwards. And that's when I thought, well, this isn't making me efficient.
I think you should give it another try because I would imagine the technology has.
But, Ral, I've got to say, writing stuff for me is so good as far as recall.
Yes, well, it does.
Being able to spark ideas. And have you done or seen all the research on people using AI to actually write stuff for them, like fully? They're not recalling it. They're actually not learning anything.
No,
I don't want to be that person. So, note to self, I'm pointing at you and everything.
Pointing at me, getting angry.
Anyway,
just a suggestion.
Jesus,
relax.
Was a good suggestion. I might give it another go on that point. So back to where I was, coaching this awesome woman, writing down my notes, go to type up those notes to send them to her, not using it. And it made me realise, actually, I'm assessing a lot of my clients without them even realising on the 8 traits of high performance. Because essentially, as an executive coach, I'm helping them get better. Yeah, they're coming to me saying, "I want to be better," or "I've got some things I think I need to develop," or "I'm actually not sure why I need you, but I just have a feeling I could be missing a trick."
Yeah,
I love all of that. That's what a good executive.
So,
coach
keepers,
will do.
that was a very long segue into the title of this episode, which is called "The 8 Traits of High Performers."
The 8 traits of high performers. So, in thinking about how I assess high performance, and you and I had a chat about this earlier, and feel free to jump in. I see 8 traits. Do you want me to just say headline what the 8 traits are and then go into each?
Let's headline. Yeah, just go through them and then we'll go through them in depth.
So the high performers that I believe will
you know what? Don't say them all. Let's just go one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Build suspense. So you got
so they've got to listen to the entire episode.
Listen to the entire episode.
Oh, you're a genius. Okay, grit.
I love the word. God, I love the word grit.
Why? So grit is that ability.
More grit, less shit.
Oh, there's a line. Grit, an ability to persist through obstacles is what I've written here. Strength to bounce back from failure. So it's definitely about resilience, right?
Yeah.
And a tenacity to keep pushing, no matter the challenge. Hard work is common, but grit is rare. Now, I can tell you this. Every now and again, a client, in fact, all my clients every now and again will say to me, it just isn't working. I just can't do that. I'm not going to get through this.
Yeah.
And I say bullshit to that.
Yeah.
You bloody will. This isn't the first time or the last time things are tough.
Yeah.
You will get through this. So let's talk about that resilience. Let's talk about having grit.
Yeah. And I think grit is, I think a lot of people have persistence and resilience at some point. I sort of see grit as just, it's almost happens all the time with them. It sort of comes naturally that they just, you just know they're not going to say that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, all of us like you said, there's people that are resilient,
Sure.
but the grit is rare because it's just
Bounce
doesn't matter
No.
or bounce back.
No. And there's something incredibly confidence instilling in yourself as well as, with others when you say, I'm not afraid of that obstacle.
Yeah.
Or actually, and I remember there was the CEO of a major bank, I've mentioned this before, and he just stepped into the role and the bank was in a bit of a state, and the media or the journalist said to him, how are you going to manage this situation? It's an absolute shit show. And he said, I lost a family member to cancer. There's not much I can't do.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, wow, that's perspective. That's grit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The strength to bounce back from failure, adversity, the tenacity to keep pushing no matter what.
Yep.
Grit is rare. There's number one.
When you just said that before, I was thinking about, bouncing back and just this attitude when things go wrong. It always reminds me of that quote, and I know I've said this quote before, but it'll be all right in the end, and if it's not all right, it's not the end. And that, I reckon, is grit, where people just go, oh my God, and it was like, well, it's not the end yet.
No, it is not the end.
So
yet.
it's just part
It
of.
will never be the end. Life goes on. You will wake up tomorrow morning. The sun will shine again.
Yeah.
Or it will rain. But
Yeah.
either way, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, and
it's our ability
you're going
to
to have to
get
deal
through
with
it.
things not going the way you
want
had
it.
planned. And again, when people, when I'm on panels or podcasts and people ask me about my career, the two most amazing things that I look back, this changed my career, changed my life for the better. When things didn't go to plan, like when I didn't get the job, when things didn't happen. Even recently this year with the cancer, scare, it's changed my life for the better.
For the better.
So I think it's that. I was coaching Jess just last week, my daughter, because she was going for a job interview, and it was for a full-time job. It was probably the first full-time job she'd gone for.
Exciting.
And, she really wanted it and she prepared really well. It was a company that she currently does a little bit of contracting work for, so they knew her.
Yeah, already.
Anyway, she did the interview and she didn't get the job, but they said, look, you didn't get the job because we had other people that applied that had a lot more experience than you, which is fair enough.
That old chestnut.
But they said, but we still want you to work for us, and instead of being contract, we'll put you on like a permanent contract, and it could, it's going to more and more work, and it will probably lead to full time. So she was like, okay, so
that is a fantastic outcome. Go
Jess.
Jess.
Yeah, and you know what? And when we spoke to her, I go, it's probably a better outcome because. I go, you're going to finish uni this, in mid-November. You probably don't want to go straight into a full-time role. You probably want a bit of –
Listen to you self-referencing. Ease up, love.
Yeah. So, but she was not – I think I was a little bit more disappointed than her.
Initially.
Because I think all that coaching.
Yeah. Clearly didn't work. Come to me, Jess.
On the other hand, at the same week I was coaching her for a presentation at uni and she got 85%, which is, so
nice.
I take full credit for that.
Well, you should.
No.
Hard work is common, grit is rare.
Yeah.
So the reason I write that is because it's so easy for people to say, but I work so hard.
Yeah.
I'm such a hard worker. Why choose me? Well, I work really hard. Why didn't I get that promotion when I worked so hard? Working hard is just the ticket to place, sadly. In fact, working smart is actually better than working hard. But working hard or working harder doesn't mean to say you've got grit. So again, let's just reinforce this. Yeah, grit is that ability to bounce back, but it's also the ability to embrace challenge.
Yes. Again, while you were saying that, there's so insightful, Jac, today.
That's me. I'm just
I know. Some people go, look, I work so hard, or I put a lot of effort into it, so it's disappointing. Where I think grit is going, I did put a lot of effort into it, but I didn't, like, Jess, for example, a lot of effort into her first interview, didn't get it. But all that effort
and learning
is going to set you up for the future.
One. Couldn't agree more.
So again, I think grit is this. Oh, I wonder, Jac, if you think grit, like, do people have it? Is it like a bit like Maybelline? Are you born with it?
Or of course you're not.
No. Do you reckon some people? Is it a bit like confidence, where maybe people are naturally more inclined to it than others, but it doesn't mean you can't?
Correct. Absolutely right. No. It's something you've got to work on, yeah? It's something you've got to use, and experience is a wonderful thing there. So as we go through life, the earlier you can either coach or, influence your children or young people around you, if you are somebody who has grit, the better, because what you're doing is helping set them up, right?
Yeah,
So, I get clients coming to me, talking to me about I'm really scared to take this leap. It might be to start my own business. It might be to go into a portfolio career. It might be I actually don't even know what's next, but I've got to leave where I am.
Yeah.
And I say, so what is the one barrier stopping you? And they go, uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen next. I can't control what's next. And I say, why does that stop you? Well, that's the fear of not knowing what's next, that uncertainty. If you've got grit, you'll say, bring it on. I'm going to have a crack. I will figure it out.
Yeah.
Or I will make it work if you think you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
I will make it work. And you will make it work. Whether what you go on to do works is almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because
exactly. This is the
you'll
outcome.
learn from that.
You can't control the outcome.
No, you can't. And I always say, so what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
The worst that can happen is you leave that role or that organisation you're not happy with. You go and start up your portfolio career or your side hustle or whatever, and you put 150% focus, energy and effort into it. I guarantee something good will come from it.
Yeah, definitely.
So grit.
Okay, that's grit. That's one. Geez, I think I'm going to make an executive call right now.
We're not going to get through
I
eight,
reckon
are
this
we?
might be 2 episodes.
We're not going to get
anyway,
through the 8 traits.
The 8 traits of high performers, part 1. Let's
Number
go on
2.
to the next one.
Okay.
Relentless resources.
get it out, love?
Say it. I can't say that.
Relentless resourcefulness.
Oh, resourcefulness.
Yeah, no, it's a bit. I've got to cut that down. So resourcefulness, but not just resourcefulness now and again. Always, yeah.
Always.
So this is about creativity and problem solving.
Oh, okay.
In a workshop yesterday, talking to some people, and a couple of them said to me, "Oh, but we're just not creative." Yet.
Everyone's
40
creative.
seconds earlier, they were telling me about how they had come up with alternative problem-solving solutions.
Yeah.
I said, you are creative.
Everyone's creative.
Creativity isn't just about painting and drawing and art and it's actually about thinking differently.
Yeah.
So some people find a way, no matter how impossible things seem, to be innovative problem solvers. They have the conviction. There's always a solution. They find a path around the obstacle. In fact, they find a path around any obstacle. Do you know people with relentless resourcefulness?
You?
Oh, you.
Well, I was always going to say it's just that definition there.
you.
It sounds as like it's very related to grit.
It is related.
Sorry,
to
I'm just
it
having
is.
a hot flush. Have you got any
Any
resourcefulness around that?
alternative
God.
problem
know,
solving
I
solutions?
was talking to someone the other day. You know what pisses me off about menopause?
What pisses you off? About
Okay, well, besides all the symptoms,
you need grit, love.
what is the biological point of it?
Well, it's things stopping.
Yeah, but why?
Because we don't want you having children at 70.
Well, okay, so but your periods can stop. Why do you then have to go through 10 years of hot flushes?
Well, don't you understand how periods work and the whole hormone piece? They're
no, I don't.
connected
It's
here.
not,
No, okay. Well,
Just,
I'm not that into them either. I'm not that
or
interested.
Anyway, if someone can tell me why we have to go through 10 years of shit
Well,
at
I
the
just
end
did.
of that.
It's big-
You did not. That's not a reason. No reason.
Dr. Jack
It's
made a
not
very
body,
good call.
and
Let's go
sometimes-
back to relentless
sometimes people go,
resourcefulness.
maybe God's a female. Okay, I can tell you right now,
She's
God's
not.
not a female.
No.
If God was a female, we wouldn't
be
there'd
having
no
menopause.
such thing as
No,
menopause.
and men would be
Anyway,
having
go
babies.
on. I
Okay.
digress.
So
My hot flush is over.
resourcefulness. Oh, well, there we are. We got through that. A little bit of therapy session for Ral. So think about somebody who you think this might apply to. Not me, somebody you know. Maybe it's a client. Maybe it's, I don't know, a partner that you have worked with your books or something.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's really resourceful. So that's about the ability to solve problems, but do it in a way that they use resources or they use their creative thinking to get around.
Yeah,
Or
I'm thinking
to
of someone.
embrace stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
talk to me about that person.
So her name's Miranda, and
Miranda.
she's
Not Priestley.
no, she's
Never wears
chief information officer.
Ooh,
And she's just very like she does things differently. I've been working with her
interesting.
for a long time, and
Give me an
is
example
now
of
a
that,
mate.
please. High level.
She's huge. She's like really embraces diversity, gender diversity. So she's really trying to, and she's in IT.
Yep.
So doing lots of different things to bring women
women
into
in,
STEM and stuff like
Great,
that.
right.
And she's just not very, in a good way, she's not very corporate. So
that.
when it was like, oh, we can't do that, she'll go, bullshit, we can't do that.
Yeah.
So she
In
has that
fact,
attitude.
Well, that's grit as well,
Yeah.
but I love that. So the minute she's told she can't do it, oh, you watch me do it.
Yeah.
You watch me do it.
In fact, she
Good on her.
her story features in my new book that's coming out, which
love
we
your
will
new book.
talk about later.
wait.
And it's all about that, she was raised in, like her dad said, you don't need to go to uni because you'll just get married and have kids. It was like,
Wow.
no, I won't. And her mum said,
Well,
no, she won't. And her mum really supported
I love that. Mum said to me, you'll never breastfeed. You won't have the patience for it. Have you guessed what I did? For years and years. Could have fed the world. Me and Bob Geldof should have teamed up.
Didn't you tell the story you breastfed and vacuumed at the same time?
And
So I think your mum was right.
what, that I wouldn't do it?
You wouldn't sit there breastfeeding, looking lovingly into your kid's eyes. You were
always take-
vacuuming.
You always take her side. You're actually right, though,
I'm
aren't
always
you?
taking your mum and dad's
You are
sides.
right.
Your dad features in my book too.
Oh, bless. Oh, you made him famous.
Okay,
So,
yes.
relentless resourcefulness. Miranda sounds like somebody who's absolutely
You'd love
fits
her.
that mold. I would love her. So, grit is the first trait of a high performer. Relentless resourcefulness. I will find a way, no matter how impossible things seem. In fact, make it really impossible and watch me solve for it.
Yeah. It's like, sometimes you see T-shirts and it's like, go on, underestimate me.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Make my day.
underestimate me.
The third, and this is a very, very personal favourite of mine, optimism. So we've got grit, we've got relentless resourcefulness, optimism.
Optimistic.
So again, these are related, but I've called them out because you can still be relentless, resourceful and have grit, but not be an optimist.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
optimistic people.
They overlap, but they're different, aren't they?
Optimistic people have energy that is electrifying and infectious. They see the good. They see the positive. They see the fun.
Yeah.
A good sense of humour, yeah? It comes with optimism. They have hope. I have to be optimistic. I'm easily optimistic. I was raised in an optimistic environment,
You were.
despite so many roadblocks when I think about that environment from mum and dad. But what happens when somebody comes to me and they say to me, life is shit, this is really hard. I need to be empathetic. And I go, tell me about that. Okay, yeah, that doesn't sound great. However, you're not on the Gaza Strip.
No.
You have a roof over your head. You have people who love you. All is not lost. Can we just look for the optimism here?
Is that a bit about perspective too?
Yeah,
Yes,
very
optimism?
much so.
Okay.
That is related, actually. That
Yeah.
is related. It's not in one of my 8 traits of high
could be.
performers,
Could
but it
be.
actually should be.
You could have a bonus 9.
Well, growth mindset maybe. Oh, I'm jumping ahead.
I think optimism, perspective can fit with optimism.
Into optimism. I agree.
Perspective
I
can
agree.
fit with grit
So
as well.
do you think, I'm going to ask you this question, do you think that you can become optimistic? So if you're born in a bit of a pessimistic environment, you've been raised by pessimistic people, you work with people that tend to be Debbie Downers or the people that don't see the positive or the upside, do you think you can change if you are in an environment that's influencing other
I think it's like a lot of things we spoke about before, like
Yep.
confidence and stuff like that. I think naturally the way you were raised
Yep.
has influenced that. But again, there's a expiry date to blaming your parents. You can work on it. You got to work on it. If
Yeah.
it doesn't naturally come to you got to work on it.
Yeah.
And so, and I think people, there's optimist or pessimist. Have you noticed? This is what I've noticed with pessimists. Pessimists would never say they're pessimists.
No.
No one. No, like people,
No one would ever
I'm
admit to
optimistic. I'm very, very happy to put my hand up and go, yep, I'm optimistic. No one puts their hands up and says I'm pessimistic. You know what they say? This is what they say.
What do they say? I'm a realist.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can, if you think you're a pessimist,
Yep.
or no, if you think you're not a pessimistic,
Right.
but if these words have ever come out of your mouth,
Yep.
you're a pessimist. I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being a realist. It's like, fuck off. That is pessimistic because I'm a realist.
Yeah.
I'm just
also
looking at the
optimistic. Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah, positive outlook.
I'm not going, oh, amazing, look at me, or whatever. It's going to be,
Yeah.
I know things can go wrong,
Yeah.
so I'm a realist.
Yeah, but you
I'm
look
just
at what
optimistic
can go
about
right.
it. It's not going to stop me.
No.
So I'm just putting it out there. This is,
They fired her up, didn't it?
This is what we do to our keepers. We hold a mirror up
Yeah,
and say, seriously,
True.
if I'm just being a realist
Yep.
is code for I'm a pessimist, but I just don't want to say it.
Can I tell you, despite being a very optimistic person all my life, I have been in environments with people who are negative, who are pessimists, and I've started to feel myself become that.
Oh, yeah. So it does the nurture thing.
Who
Happens.
you hang around, your environment. So, keepers, if you feel you could err on the side of pessimism or being a realist, you might want to look around you, yeah? But you also might want...
You might want to look in the mirror.
Well said. I was just about to say, you might also want to look at, are you influencing others to be a pessimist, yeah?
Yeah.
So working in environments where there's a lot of gossip and a lot of negativity, I've been caught up in that. And then realising, this is awful. This is toxic. I don't want to keep bagging people about this. And this person only ever has a conversation with me to whinge and moan. Fuck off.
No.
And actually stopping that and being very intentional about stopping that. And I remember this particular, I can see him now, it was a male. I remember saying, that's a conversation I don't want to have anymore. And I saw the look on his face. And it took a lot for me to say that. I prepared, I was ready. And he looked at me and said, "What's up your ass?" Which is exactly what
Optimism. The sun,
I love it.
The sun is shining out of my ass. That's what I would have said.
Which is exactly what I expected him to say. So I was ready, but I didn't have that line, which was good. And I just said, this is just rubbish and I'm not interested in talking about it. I'm happy to keep chatting to you because I like you a lot. I think you've got a lot to offer. But I'm just a bit bored with this conversation.
We've been there. Said, and they've not done anything.
Exactly right.
All right, what's the fourth one? We're on the home straight of part one of our 8 traits.
Grit was the first. Relentless resourcefulness was the second. Optimism was the third. The fourth, you and I absolutely subscribe to this, so I'm hoping we can be high performers. Constant learning.
Yeah.
Now, constant learning, I've actually added those who seek feedback. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So read broadly, actively listen,
I don't
converse
really
widely,
feedback.
and expand their skills by seeing every conversation, every meeting, every introduction, everything they do as a way to learn and stay curious. I don't know how many people say to me, I'm thinking of a family member now, it's me the shits, that person never teaches me anything. There was no point me going and doing that because I never learned anything. That's on you, love.
Taking your family don't listen to the podcast? Well, if they do,
this is
family
feedback.
members.
This is feedback.
You reckon at Christmas, say, was it me you were talking to?
Well, it's funny because most of my clients say to me on a regular basis, I listened to that podcast and you were talking about me, weren't you? And I'll say, no, I wasn't actually, but clearly you're feeling that's relatable.
I'm
but
the opposite.
Everything is a learning
I
opportunity.
have friends going, were you talking about me? I go, you damn sure I was.
You can betcha.
No, it's not true. But it is constant learning.
Constant learning. Now, the opposite to that, but's also equally relevant. I haven't put it in here, but think about it. It's unlearning as well. Just because you did things that way for 20 years or traditional leadership styles or models or whatever doesn't mean to say that's the future.
Yeah. That's part of learning, isn't it? Unlearning that whole
but constant learning.
Conscious, unconscious, conscious, that model.
Yeah,
you don't know what you don't know. Like
that's right. Consciousness, conscious unconsciousness. Yep. So constant learning, but looking at everything you do, everyone you meet as a learning opportunity. Yeah. Now, there are some things I'll get sent something from somebody, a podcast to listen to or a reading, and I'm always so grateful when people share things with me. I've got a good tribe that do that. You share stuff with me, I share stuff with you. There's a whole tribe of people that do that regularly. And sometimes I will listen, watch or read and I'll go, I already knew all that. And then I'll think, don't be a dick. There is something in what I have just read, listened or watched that I either needed to be reminded of again or that I actually didn't know.
Yeah.
I might have known 80% of it, but there'd be 20% I don't. And I catch myself, Ral.
Yes.
Because I don't want to be that person.
You were telling your mum off last night about that when you said, Mum, there's a good episode, article on the West Coast Eagles about and every time you said it's about this, she goes, I know that. And after the third time she said, I know that, you go, Mum, I know you know that, but if you just read the article, you might know more. And it was like,
it's like family therapy having you here.
I know.
I just bring you in to observe more, especially when I'm in the right.
Sat across the table.
So you're not sticking up for my mother for once?
No, I am. No, I'm not. No. It was good. Talking about constant learning.
Do you know people that say, I know that, often don't, and they are.
Well, they're not listening.
Well, they also feel embarrassed, and so they are trying to hide the fact that they don't know it. So if you are somebody who says, I know that, stop saying it, it's actually giving you away.
Right.
And you're not listening.
Right.
What were you going to say? I cut you off. But
yeah, you weren't listening.
I
was going to talk about the constant learning because we've still got places available for our immersion at the King Valley in Milawa. It is next month.
Yeah, only a few spots though.
Seriously, if it's like anything like Fiji, get yourself, have a look at it.
Feedback was amazing.
If you can come, fit it in. This is constant learning. It's great professional development. Just to recap again, I started doing these things by numbers, high level by numbers, 4 master classes, 3 amazing casual networking lunches, 2 group mentoring walks each morning, 1 amazing celebratory dinner, 0 excuses.
Oh, I love that. That's do the math, people. But also, if you want to know the 8 traits of high performers, come and hang around some because the people that have already signed up are seriously amazing rock stars. And we only have a few places left. It's going to be fun. That King Valley and Lansmore, I know. Doesn't look luxe.
So that could be part of your professional development more than just, and you will get feedback, but learning.
Feedback's a gift.
I just last night signed up for an AI course.
I'm
I'll tell you about.
away from doing exactly the same.
Maybe we're doing the same
about
course.
Which course? Online?
Yeah.
Through Sydney University or through another institution? All right,
we'll talk about that.
Constant learning.
Okay.
The fourth
trait
one out of 8, where there are 8 traits of high performers that I have assessed over the last, 25 years of leading, but certainly after the last 4 to 5 years of coaching rock stars every single day.
This is 8 traits according to Jac.
Yeah, according to the book of Jac. Grit, relentless resourcefulness, optimism, and constant learning are the first 4. We will give you the next 4 in part 2.
Part 2, absolutely.
Stay around.
And as usual, if you want to support us, subscribe to Patreon, you will actually get access to the next episode straight away because that's part of the deal. You get early access. Another thing that's part of the deal is you get bonus sessions and masterclasses.
About us talking shit. Not in the masterclasses.
No, the masterclasses is content that we record that is actually not recorded anywhere else. So it's for a monthly fee. We talk about significantly less than a coffee a day. You get the best bloody professional development going
and coaching, pretty much.
Yeah, I know. How cool. How cool is that? All right, keepers, we'll see you next week for the part 2 of the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th trait of high performance from Jac.
Bye.
You've been listening to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jac Ral. If you like what you've heard, don't forget to tell others about it and give a 5-star review. They may seem confident, but they really are sensitive 5-star needy souls. Yeah, right. Keeping It Real, created by Jac Phillips and Gabriel Dolan. Produced by Keehlan Ferrari-Brown. And this really real voiceover, spoken by Richard Phillips.